In the previous two lessons, we learned how to solve systems of equations by graphing them and solving systems of equations by substituting the one expression into the other equation. This last method that we're talking about is solving systems of equations by elimination, which basically means that we're going to try and cancel out one of the variables by adding or subtracting. And sometimes we have to do some manipulation of the equations before we can get them to eliminate one of the variables. So once again, there are 4 steps in this one, so make sure you copy these 4 steps down into your notebook so you know how to do it. First step is to write the system so that all of the like terms are lined up one on top of each other. In other words, all the x's are over the x's and all the y's are over the y's. Step 2 says eliminate one of the variables by using the opposite sign and solve for the other variable. Step 3 is substitute the value of that variable into one of the original equations and solve for that variable. And then write your answers from steps 2 and 3 as an ordered pair, x and then y. All right, so when we do that, the first example is actually going to be pretty easy. If we look at it here, we have x's over x's, okay, and we have y's over y's, and then we have the whole numbers over the whole numbers. What we can see here is that we have a minus 2y and a plus 2y. So if we add those, remember this is a 1x, these negative 2 plus 2 cancels out. All right, so we end up with 6x is equal to negative 18. And then we divide by 6. And we find out that x is equal to negative 3. All right, then we're going to go ahead and plug it into one of the equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one. I'll rewrite it because I wrote over it. X minus 2y is equal to negative 19. Instead of the x, I'm going to put in a negative 3 and say minus 2y is equal to negative 19. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And when we do that, the 3's cancel out. We're left with negative 2y is equal to negative 16. Divide both sides by negative 2. And we find that our y value is negative divided by negative is a positive. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay, so y is equal to 8. X is equal to negative 3. So as an ordered pair, we will write that as negative 3, comma 8. All right. In this case, once again, we have them lined up over top of each other, but we don't have any, well, we have a positive 3 and a negative 2. Okay, but that, we could, but it would take some manipulation. The easier thing to do is we have a positive 4 and a positive 4. So the easier thing to do would be to change one of those 4y's to a negative 4y. To do that, we're going to multiply everything by negative 1. So I'm going to rewrite this top one, 3x plus positive 4y is equal to 18. Then I'm going to distribute this negative 1 to all 3 terms. All right, so negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2x. Negative 1 times plus 4 is minus 4y is equal to negative 1 times 8 is negative 8. Now, you can see here we have a positive 4y and a negative 4y, so those cancel out. So we add 3x plus 2x is 5x is equal to 18 minus 8 is 10 divided by 5, and x is equal to 2. So now we're going to take that x and we're going to plug it into one of the 2 equations. Okay, I'm going to plug it into the top one again because I don't like negatives. So I'm going to say 3 times 2 plus 4y, we've got to plug it into the original equation, okay, is equal to 18. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 4y is equal to 18, minus 6, minus 6. 4y is equal to 12, divided by 4. And my y value is 3. Okay, so my ordered pair for the solution is 2, 3. All right. Next one. All right. This is very somewhat similar. Okay, we have a 2x plus y and a negative x plus 3y. Well, okay, so we have opposite sides with the x's. So once again, we're just going to multiply the bottom one by 2, because then we have 2x plus y is equal to 3. And we have, when we distribute, 2 times negative x is negative 2x. 2 times 3y is plus 3y, because they're both negative. I'm sorry, not plus 3y, plus 6y. Okay, 2 times 3 is 6, is equal to 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. All right, we add it. Okay, negative 2 plus 2 cancel out. So we have 1y plus 6y is 7y is equal to 3 minus 24 is negative 21 divided by 7. Y is equal to negative 3. All right, substitute it in. I'm going to substitute it in the top one. Seems like I do that all the time. You don't have to substitute it in for the top one. You could substitute it in for either one. So 2x plus negative 3 is equal to positive 3. I'm going to say, because this is a negative, I'm going to say plus 3 on both sides. Cancels out. 2x is equal to 6 divided by 2. X is equal to 3. So our solution as an ordered pair is positive 3 and negative 3. All right. All right, last example. All right, so we got a mess, okay? So with this, there's several different things that we have to do. We have to get opposite numbers, basically. 7 and 5, we could do that. We could multiply the top one by 5 and the bottom one by negative 7. And basically what you want to do is you want to find the least common multiple, and whichever one is the least common multiple to do. Here, least common multiple is 35. Here, the least common multiple is 24. Okay. It doesn't matter. Let's just do the cancel out the x. Okay. And so we're going to end up having to multiply both of them. So we're going to multiply the top one by 5 and the bottom one by 7. All right, we just multiply each one. Let's make the bottom one, we got to change the sign. So let's make the bottom one a negative 7. All right, so 5 times 7 is 35x. 5 times 12, so it's minus 5 times 12 is 60y is equal to 5 times 22, 22 times 5 is 110, okay? So it's a negative 110, all right? Next one, negative 7 times 5 is negative 35x. Negative 7 times negative 8 is negative times negative is a positive. 56y is equal to negative 7 times negative 14 is going to be positive. So 14 times 7 is 28, 98. Okay. So it'd be positive 98. All right. So there's bigger numbers, and you can use a calculator. I just didn't have my calculator up. So, okay, so the 35, the x's cancel out. We're left with negative 60 plus 56. So that gives us a negative, because the 60 is bigger, negative 4y is equal to negative 12. All right? Divided by negative 4. Y is equal to negative divided by negative is a positive. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So y is equal to 3. Substitute it back into the original equation. I'm going to substitute it into the bottom one, just simply because they're smaller numbers. So we have 5x minus 8 times 3, because y is 3, is equal to negative 14. Okay? 5x minus 24 is equal to negative 14. Add 24 to both sides. Cancels out. 5x is equal to 10 divided by 5. So x is equal to 2. All right. So our ordered pair is 2, 3. Okay, so that is it for this lesson. Make sure that you ask if you have any questions, and we will talk to you later.